Good morning everyone, today we're checking out a brand new video from TrueGreen7 about what if Pokemon switched evolution methods, episode 2. If you haven't seen the first one, go check that out. But if you have and you're here to continue on or just don't care, let's hop in.
Hey guys, Ron here, and
What
a
up,
few months
Ron?
ago I made a video that answered an important question. What if Pokemon switched evolution methods? For example, Onix evolves with a metal coat, and Growlithe evolves with a firestone. But what if these two Pokemon switched evolution methods and acquired a new branched evolution? A molten Steelix counterpart and an armored Arcanine. It makes total sense, so make sure to check out part 1 if you haven't. I went even harder this time, so get excited. Leave a like if you want to see more of this concept, and subscribe to know when future come out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon or clicking the join button to become a YouTube member so that more time is afforded to create more fake mon per video like I'll do in this episode. But considering you clicked on this video, I'm sure you're in an artistic vibe. And with today's sponsor, Collab, you may just find the perfect way to create art that you can feel. Have you ever heard of tufting before? It's the technique used to create rugs and wall hangings, usually with a tufting gun that shoots yarn through fabric. And now that Claw Labs is here, it's way easier to make these custom creations. Claw Labs tufting gun is made for artists of all levels. It's surprisingly lightweight, so you can work comfortably for long sessions without any strain. The adjustable speed gives you full control whether you're a beginner or expert, while the reduced vibrations keeps your line smooth and your hands steady. Safety is a priority too, with an enclosed design that helps prevent, accidents while you focus on your flow. And with their sturdy tufting frame, adjusting fabric tension is quick and effortless. And the whole setup is designed to work seamlessly with a bunch of different tufting styles. Whether you're crafting wall art, rugs, studio pieces, or something to put on your desk, it's got you covered. Even the full kit is thoughtfully built, with a sheet case that you can store and carry anywhere. It really sets up fast and easy. Whether you're a hobbyist testing the waters like me, or starting a small business selling rugs or something, you'll be tufting in no time. I never even considered tufting until Claw Lab came along, but I love interior design. And the thought of making small little Pokemon rugs that I can place throughout my new apartment got me super excited. I thought, why not test out the tufting gun by making my Sceptile 7 icon? Unfortunately, I was so excited that I kind of forgot that you're supposed to draw the stencil flipped. And while it's a good second attempt, I'll be using Claw Labs tufting kit throughout the coming months to perfect what could be a lifelong hobby. Look at this.
So when you want to draw, you have to draw it flipped onto the paper before you actually start. Right, I guess that would kind of make sense. Hey, no, it's not bad. It's not bad at all for a first attempt. Oh, I'm sorry, second attempt.
Look at this. It feels so good. Another tip I learned while testing out my kit is that the more you tighten the cloth using the tufting frame, the better the gun works. I mean, now that I made sure that you guys don't make any beginner mistakes, you'll have even more fun tufting with Claw Labs kit. And if you think tufting is your next passion, click the link in the description to get yourself a Claw Lab tufting kit. Use this opportunity now because this exclusive code is only valid for the first 100 people. And if you end up getting a kit, I would love to see your creations. So please submit your designs using the form in the description, and you could get the Claw Lab X True Green Pokemon Mystery Box. Or you can still submit your designs on Twitter or Blue Sky using hashtag TrueGreenXClawLab. And maybe tuft one of my fake mon if you need some inspiration. Look at it! Let's begin by switching up the evolutionary methods of Dusclops and Vulpix, giving them each other's items and
also, gonna pause real quick. I thought I had done a reaction to the first video of this, but apparently I didn't. And I must have decided to react to something else on that day, so whoops. Sorry, let's keep going.
Seeing where that takes their designs. Dusclops will now evolve with a Firestone, igniting into a blazing new form that takes its Lantern Yokai inspiration to the next level. To push the concept even further, this evolution will resemble a lighthouse, its body acting as a beacon for lost souls. This ties perfectly into Dusknoir's lore, especially that strange antenna it already has, which receives signals from the underworld. Our lighthouse evolution will have something kind of akin to that. So this is one of those opportunities to take a Pokemon and make it long. I've been waiting to finally make a long evolution for years. It was a trend on Twitter. I love how this guy will have an antenna on its head like Dusknoir, but it mimics the top of a lighthouse. The skull-inspired upper jaw thing that Dusclops has is inverted to finish off this lighthouse aesthetic. A flame on top, and the stripes of a Dusclops work as the stripes of a lighthouse. Floating arms like Dusclops so that the silhouette stays looking like a lighthouse. It'll have holes on its body that look like windows, and the colors of a Dusclops, but with fire. Works perfectly. It even kind of makes it look like a firefighter for some reason. This looks like what Dusclops was gonna evolve into this entire time. Behold, Duscandle, the beacon.
Duscandle, okay, I like that. And Wi-Fi. Hey, still having Wi-Fi trouble? Just saying two things real quick. One, I moved so y'all can see the shiny. Love the purple, that's nice. And two, if you actually say the scandal, it almost sounds like you're saying the scandal. Well, and it's actually sounding a little funny to laugh at. And we're back, and I'm just now looking at the height. Damn, that thing is tall. Only 9 feet? Woo!
Pokemon. A ghost
Love
fire
it.
type with the abilities Illuminate, Pressure, and Frisk. Its lantern-like head burns with ghostly fire, guiding lost souls across both land and sea. Duskcandle is watchful and ever vigilant, scanning the horizon for wandering spirits. It dwells
Like it.
near coasts and cliffsides, where it uses its supernatural light to lure in the souls of travelers who got lost at sea. Sailors pray to see its
Is it able to spin the light like an actual lighthouse?
flame from afar, though whether the light means salvation or doom depends entirely on Duskcandle's judgment. In battle, Duskcandle unleashes
Never mind.
optic blasts of ghostly fire that sear both body and soul. I like how this Pokemon has its
Nice.
own way of doing the job of a Grim Reaper compared to the more traditional Grim Reaper that Dusknoir is. Seeing this wandering in the overworld would be pretty eerie. Meanwhile,
Oh, yeah,
Vulpix
it'd be
will evolve with
tall.
a Reaper Cloth, transforming it into a ghostly fox yokai. This evolution will lean more into
Ooh,
Kitsune
okay.
folklore, drawing from the designs of traditional Kitsune masks and maybe even a slightly more masculine counterpart to Ninetales. More of a
That could be
suave
cool.
trickster instead of an ethereal and regal Ninetales, you know? So here's the challenge when designing a ghost-type
low-key
Vulpix
cat?
split Evo. We want to make something that has, you know, Ninetales, but doesn't look exactly like a Ninetales. Like, this is a new Pokemon, but it will look like a Ninetales. And considering I want to make the hair floating forward instead of swooped back like a Ninetales, now I have to worry about it looking too much like a Hisuian Zoroark, especially once I introduce the
That is
markings.
the downside.
But personality-wise, it will feel like neither of them. It's more suave and cool. I wanted to give it the feel of a modern vampire. It actually takes a lot of inspiration from the swirls that Vulpix has on its head and tails. Now it's a whole swirl motif that goes around the body and remains on its tails, making it look more like a haunting and hypnotizing yokai. I spent
Something else kind of interesting is that you also gave it marks similar to be like bones. It's like, well, if you know bones, you know.
too long
I
on
don't
the
have to
colors.
explain it.
I didn't
Come
know if
on
I
now.
wanted to include the white face to make it look more vampiric and mask-like, because it kind of inadvertently made it look more like Hisuian Zoroark. In the end, I settled on
That
a
is
color
the
that
downside.
would make its patterns and eyes pop. Beware, Ninetales, the fox Pokemon from
Ninetales.
Ninetales and
Ooh.
Talisman.
Ooh, look at that shiny. Ooh, I love a good black and blue. And that red piercing eye. Oh, it's glorious.
A ghost fire type with the abilities Flash Fire, Curse Body, and Drought. Much like Ninetales, it is steeped in superstition. It is a solitary wanderer, avoiding packs in favor of roaming desolate plains, abandoned shrines, and moonlit forests. While alone,
I can see this thing almost doing like a Muttley laugh. If you don't know what a Muttley laugh is, YouTube that.
it is quite
Or
curious
Google,
and will
whatever.
often follow humans who are gathered together at night. It crafts intricate mirages from its flames, luring foes into its trap.
Nice.
Those who bravely
Good.
overcome its frightening illusions
all
are said to be
Ninetales.
blessed. In battle, Ninetales uses its illusions to disorient enemies before delivering a decisive fire blast. While this
Nice.
guy ended up being way less intimidating and mysterious than I originally imagined a Ghost Vulpix Evo to be, I do like how it's more wild and bold than Ninetales. It would be too much of a Ninetales if it were more ethereal and noble looking. Now I want to swap the evolutionary methods of Aipom and Dunsparce, who both evolve via a move. Now Aipom will evolve when
Hyperdrill?
it levels up knowing Hyperdrill, and this new form is
Hold on, I'm gonna quickly Google that because I do not remember that. Yeah, everything on Google was pointing to Hyperdrill, but I honestly do not remember that move. Huh.
going to
Okay.
go all in on the construction worker theme. Its handtail will transform into a massive metal drill, and it'll sport a steel helmet and vest to complete the look. Considering Ambipom is in my bottom 20 least favorite Pokemon, creating my own Aipom Evo will be like a realization of a lifelong dream. Now, originally I wanted to make this Aipom Evo kind of
Show
round
us
and
what you
chunky,
got.
like a 50-year-old construction worker, but it was impossible to make it this flexible with such a shape, so I elongated it a bit, made its head way bigger, and gave it some swagger. It has metal plating around its body that
Swagger.
looks like a helmet, utility belt, and high visibility vest. Its drill is pure metal, and its butt looks a bit more ape-like. The yellow both makes sense as a construction worker color and complements the purple flawlessly. Check out Aplow, the drill tail Pokemon.
not bad.
A normal
Ooh, good shiny, good shiny. Something about the grays, just like it.
steel type with the abilities Sturdy, Technician, and Skill Link. Evolving from Aipom when it learns Hyper Drill, Aplow trades its mischievous pranks for the focused precision of a master builder. Using its tail, it is capable of boring through solid rock, uprooting tree stumps, and tunneling with ease. Aplow
Ooh.
construct marvelous tree houses. The sturdy plating along its body and head protects it from debris. In battle, it digs
Not
holes to
bad.
pop out of and strike with its drill. Despite its rugged appearance and mischievous smile, Aplow is dependable and cooperative, always ready to lend its strength to help others.
You could actually almost use this mon to create almost like a Simone the Diggle team.
Despite me always not liking
Yes,
Ambipom
Simone,
and wanting a
not
different
Simon.
evolved form, I never really imagined what it would look like. So it's surreal to finally make one that I vibe much more with. Hopefully it doesn't look too out of left field. As for Dunsparce, evolving by learning Double Hit will lead to something a little underwhelming. To match the wonderfully redundant nature of the Dunsparce, this evolution will simply be a two-headed Dunsparce. But I do want to lean into the Cobra aesthetic with some intimidating patterns to contrast with the fact that it's a dopey Dunsparce.
Oh,
okay, so
yeah?
imagine the Dunsparce, but with two heads. That also means it has two thoraxes. To differentiate it from a Dunsparce, however, it has less wings, a less prominent drill
that's
tail,
already
spikes on the
his
head
name.
to land a
Huh.
double hit with, and these belly patterns that look like a pair of eyes and a smiling mouth. It's supposed to be intimidating, like an Arbok's hood, but comes across as goofy. Gotta continue
That
the
is
tradition
goofy.
of uselessness. Rare, Dunsparce, the land snake's Pokemon.
Dunsparce.
From Dunce, Pair, and Despair. A normal type with the abilities Intimidate, Serene
Okay.
Race, and Skill Link. The pattern on its belly is
Okay, first of all, I'm sorry to say this, but this is dumb. And since that is the last mon as well. Oh wait, no, there's one more.
a crude
Ooh,
attempt at
okay.
mimicry. It
I don't
only
get to
scares
cover
off
the
the most
shinies
simple
yet.
of predators. The two heads rarely agree on where to go, often resulting in slow, meandering movements and indecisive action. While this might seem like a disadvantage, its unpredictable, erratic lunges make it harder for foes to anticipate its strikes. They will often bicker mid-fight. They will, however, put aside their differences to aid lost children and Pokemon, often carrying them to
Aw.
safety. You know how it is. I think the idea of Dunsparce having two redundant evolutions is actually quite hilarious.
You know what? I like
And
this.
finally, I'm swapping the evolutionary items for Scyther and Seadra. Scyther will now evolve with a Dragon Scale, and this new form will finally match what I always thought Scyther was, a draconic predator with the vibrant,
Nice.
striking colors of exotic insects, and medieval dragon paintings too.
This is
To
gonna be
stay
good.
true to the theme of this evolutionary line being named after their weapons, it'll trade in its scythes for massive saber-like blades, which is funny because it'll
What,
be using a
katanas?
weapon that a knight would hunt a dragon with. Unlike the big design shifts we saw with Scizor and Cleavor, this Saber will feel like a natural
Sable,
progression from
okay.
Scyther. That's why I'm gonna make it even stronger than the other Scyther evolutions. So I'm taking Scyther's various features like its horns and elongating them, which naturally just makes it look like a dragon. I'm telling you, a dragon Scyther evo always makes sense.
dragon
Even the
knight
bug-like body can be
Scyther.
stretched to look like
Okay.
the keel of a dragon on its chest, and an abdomen that looks, like a tail. Some traits like the shoulder pads are tradition by now among the Scyther line, but to differentiate its claws from Scyther's scythes, its arms are just straight, long blades like a sword. Various aspects are
Awesome.
included to make it look reptilian, and finally, the wings that it already had will look more bat-like to resemble the wings of a dragon. I added even more spikes on the arms to look like the crossguard of a sword. The colors are
Very
inspired by those
nice.
more vibrant praying mantises that exist somewhere. But also these colors look good on a dragon. Even that shade of blue is
I could actually imagine this guy kind of hanging out and fighting, sparring with Gallade.
associated with the dragon type in the Pokemon games. Those bright yellows, greens, and violets make it look like the various depictions of dragons in medieval art. Check out Sabor, the sword Pokemon.
Sabor.
A bug dragon type with the
Ooh.
ability Swarm.
Okay, look at that shiny. That is like a very classic dragon shiny. The red is just very good.
Technician and Mold Breaker. Its sleek, scaled body shines in the sun. Its sword-like blades are capable of cleaving through armor and stone with ease. In battle, Saber
Love
is
it.
relentless, using its aerial agility to dart around foes. Now, this isn't part of the Pokedex entry, but I feel like Scizor and Cleavor are more like a Scyther covered in steel or rock armor, and therefore are as powerful as a Scyther. But Saber is an actual next stage in Scyther's evolution, which means it's quite stronger. This is what
I
I've been
could see
wanting to
that.
see for generations. Although now that I look at it with its dino tail and yellow eyes, it could most definitely act like a Scyther paradox form as well. We could call
Oh,
it
yeah.
Dreadful Saber. Meanwhile, Seadra will evolve when traded while holding a metal coat, becoming a regional
So instead of becoming a king dragon of the ocean, it's instead going to become a sentry of the ocean.
Kingdra variant, completely clad in protective armor. It'll look like the knight that could slay our dragon Scyther. This Kingdra won't
Oh,
just
okay,
be the
nice.
knight though. It'll also be the knight's steed, designed to look like the perfect mount for a submarine warrior. Something that the king of Atlantis would ride, which makes the name Kingdra even more appropriate. So since this is a regional form of Kingdra,
Love
the
it.
layout of the body is pretty much the same. I made its features sharper and more angular, and gave it fins that resemble a Spartan helmet just to hammer in the warrior vibe, but it also looks pretty natural on a seahorse Pokemon. Its
Now
chest
that
looks
is
more
good.
angular like real-world seahorses, but also looks more like the breastplate of a knight's armor, just outlining the various segments to the armor and giving it the colors of a knight. If you like Kingdra, I'm sure you'd like...
Its face literally looks like a gun. And like, of course, you got the barrel here, but then over here you got the stock. Like you would put that against your shoulder, or aim hit, like help it aim by like grabbing its head and then firing.
This would totally
Love
work
it.
as a regional form in a Legends game. And behold, Kingdra, the Knight Pokemon, a Water Steel type with the ability Swift Swim,
Oh.
Sniper, and Clear Body.
Still called
This
Kingdra,
regional
huh?
variant of Kingdra evolves from Seadra when traded while holding a metal coat, emerging fully clad in polished armor. It patrols the ocean depths, maintaining order. Despite the weight of its
Not
plating,
bad.
Kingdra glides through the water with surprising agility, charging into underwater battles with precise shots from its snout. In ancient times, they were ridden into naval battles. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Can't deny. I always thought Kingdra felt like a Pokemon only
The shiny is, I'll give it an okay. Because, you know, it's just a classic still, but rusted.
a top-tier trainer would have. And I can say the same of this form. And if you want to be a top-tier viewer, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see a part 3. Maybe suggest some Pokemon that you...
Alright everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see y'all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.